I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that's been happening with me in Rio. Let's get to it.
Favela, estamos à vontade, nós somos.
I really wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like it's needed. Let me get my coffee on. Oh my god, I love Brazilian coffee. So as some of you know that I did come to Brazil on a very, very tight, little to none budget. So with that being said, I really was kind of out of a place to go, and I literally came here on a whim. So I asked one of my friends that I met in 2014 if I could stay with him, and he offered his home to me, and I've been staying here for a while. I owe him so much. His family's so beautiful, amazing. I have no words on how to thank him. From the bottom of my heart, I really do love this guy, and I want to thank him so much, him and his wife and his child, for allowing me to be in their home. With that being said, where they live is a little bit different from other people in Rio de Janeiro. As some of you know, like a lot of people of color, not all the time here as well, there's a lot of white people too, but a lot of people of color most times do live in the favelas. And right now I currently am in a favela. I must say that I prefer the favela than other parts of Rio, in my humble opinion. I know other people will be like, I don't like the favela because of the trafficking or etc. There is a sense of security here. It's a community. This particular favela, in my opinion, reminds me of a village. When I'm outside, there's multiple languages speaking. We have people here that speak Creole, they're Haitian. We have people that are from Angola or other parts of Africa. You also have people that are from the northeast of Brazil. And it's a lot of immigrants. And you also have people, Cariocas. So it really feels like a village. It feels like a blended community, a mixed community. And I honestly really like it here. Of course it has its issues, for example, like sewage. The water doesn't go down fast enough. But however, everybody here is so creative. Like, they bike through the water to get to their house. I honestly, really honestly, I truly, honestly prefer this area more than I did when I was living in Zona Sul. And right now, the favela that I'm in is in Zona Oeste, West Zone, as you may know. With that being said, I honestly, personally like the West Zone a lot better, and I also like the North Zone a lot better. The South Zone, for people who don't know, of Rio de Janeiro is more like Manhattan. It's like you're going to a tourist area of any city that you're in. I personally am not one to go down the beaten path, as many of you know. I'm not that type of person when I travel. I usually like to do what the locals do. So I'm here literally living like a local things. You have so many fruit stands here, you have so many markets, you really don't need to leave this area for anything. There is a sense of security because you have people who own the favela where they set rules and laws for the community for you to abide by. Yeah, you can't rob, you can't rape, you can't mug, you can't do any of that in the community. You cannot do any of that.
Or there will be serious consequences.
So, there is a sense of community. I can walk outside on my phone, I can speak English, I can do what I want, like, you know what I'm saying? But when I exit the favela, that is a little bit different. Once you're out of the favela, you're not really that safe. I would not suggest you speak English outside of the favela. You're entering the rest of Rio de Janeiro. But inside this community, it's really knit, tight, etc. You have the supermarkets, you have your pharmacies, you have bars, cheap drinks, cheap food. How do I manage to get around? Transportation, right? So where I live is really far. I live in the West Zone. Again, it's really far. I usually take 2 buses everywhere. I take 2 buses. I take one bus to get to another point and another bus transfer over. And I'm so glad that I lived here because I found out that you can get a transfer on your Rio card. Let me show you what it looks like. On your Rio card, you can get a transfer by bus. I did not know this whole time because where I lived in Zona Sul, I always took the train, so it was like a one hop, skip away situation. But here, I can literally just get on the bus for $4, 4 reais, and you know, transfer and go wherever. So that's good. I've been traveling like that. I haven't seen my friends that's in Zona Sul a lot lately, and that's only because it's extremely far. It literally takes me an hour just to get to Zona Sul, which is whack, because if you look at the map, it's not that far. But because of the way that the route of the bus goes, it goes all the way around, etc. Uber's a dub. I would not do Uber. Uber is like 44 reais or 50 reais, you know, just going to one point that's not even in Zona Sul. It's taking you to a point that leads you to Zona Sul. So I would never do that. No, I don't do Uber. One of my most difficult challenges when I was traveling, getting around by bus, was the day of the São Paulo. When we had the Champions Parade with Salgueiro, I didn't get home till 5 in the morning from Centro. And that was because I missed my connecting bus because it was raining and Avenida do Brasil was flooded. Yeah, so it took me a long time to get home because I missed my connecting bus, and it was wax sauce, y'all. I will say when it does flood in that area, it is difficult to travel by bus. But you know, it is what it is, y'all. I made it. Therefore, there are some days where I just don't go nowhere. I will literally stay in the community, but again, I can understand why some people don't leave. Again, because, or like, if they don't have anything to do, they don't leave. It's so much here. You have bars and you have nightclubs, stuff like that here. You really don't need to go all the way to Lapa or all the way to Centro to have fun. And if you live in a community where there's a baile, you could just go to the bailes on Saturdays. You really don't need to leave the community for anything. Everything is literally inside here. And you know what's very fascinating that I found out? CDD, which is Cidade de Deus, which is the neighboring favela to me, they have their own currency. That is so dope. Like, you can literally use CDD money. And CDD stands for Cidade de Deus. So CDD, that's what it is. And I wish the projects and the hoods in the US had that type of pull. Again, everything is in your community. You don't really need to go out for nothing except for work.
The negative aspect of this.
Sometimes how people look at you. People see you exiting that favela, or people know you're a favelado or favelada. You get treated a lot differently from other people. It's very, very classist and very elitist the way people treat you. But I've actually had a situation like that of my own, being here in a favela. People will definitely look at you differently. They definitely think that you're a little bit crazy for living in the favela, because they think that that's not ideal and they think that it's extremely dangerous. Now, other favelas, yeah, it can be dangerous. Not dangerous in a sense of you getting robbed, but dangerous in a sense of shootings. So sometimes in favelas they have shootings, and that's because they're doing operations. The police are doing operations, and the target is not necessarily towards you. The target is towards, exactly. So yeah, a stray bullet can definitely hit you. However, in my community it's a little bit different. We don't have that. So other people will look at you like you're an American, or you're a gringo or gringa, and you're living in the favela. That's crazy. You're supposed to be living in Copacabana, Leblon, Ipanema, Botafogo, Flamengo, Gloria, Santa Teresa. Like, that's where you're supposed to live. You're not supposed to be here. And then the situation that I had was other expats. Expats are people who are from other countries doing what I'm doing, living here. Then you have other expats who are basically shaming you as well for living in the favela because of what they think of the favela. And they're also bringing the same classism and elitist ideas that they have back home to this new country, Brazil, that they're not from. So they look at you a little bit differently, and they look down on you because that's how they think of people who live in the projects back in the USA. So I had a little bit of a tuffle with myself as well with some other expats that are here. And that sucks. It's whack. And it's prejudice, and it's elitist, and it's classist. And mine was just a small segment. Just a small segment. Could you imagine someone who's lived here all their life? How people look at them. How people treat them. Literally, guys, this is a community for people that can afford it. Let's be real. At the end of the day, everybody cannot live the same lifestyle as you. Some people need help. Some people need help. Some people need assistance. And for us to look down on people who may need assistance, or they're not living like you, or maybe they didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth, that's wrong, and that's elitist, and it's classist. Let's be real. Where somebody lives does not define them at all. It does not define them. You know, of course, obviously, there are instances where,
You can take them out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them.
of course, your environment does indeed shape your character. But to judge somebody or to look down on them simply because they come from a specific community, that's wrong, and that's elitist, and that's classist. Because at the end of the day, I'm sure where you're from, to somebody else, that may be poor too.
Nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had to pay a
Everybody may look at you a little bit different. You probably have something or a flaw, because this is not a flaw in my opinion. You may have a flaw that people find to be horrible and disgusting. Let's be real. And also, being a favelado. I'm not a favelado. I really wish that my friend was here so that he can explain to you what it's like really being a favelado. It's not, oh my God, like it's horrible, woe is me. Man, a lot of favelados are smart as hell. They go to school, they go to work. They're just like you and I. I'm not a favelado, but I am from the hood. And I guess maybe that is a favelado. Maybe. But that reality check, even just me as a gringa being here, that reality check of how people treat you and look at you and poke jokes and make fun of you because of where you live at. I said, damn, let's imagine someone who has lived here all their life, grew up here, how police target them, how people look at them, how people see your address and they're like, I don't want to work with you, or I don't want to hire you, or you don't have the experience because of where you're from. I can only imagine what that's like. But again, guys, I honestly thoroughly enjoyed my time here in Rio. I'm sad that it's coming to an end. Hands down. This family was so welcoming, let me in, fed me, etc. Like, honestly, it cannot compare. It cannot compare at all. And that's about it, guys. And also, what will be coming back, I will be coming back to New York City, and I will be continuing my vlog. But I will be talking about my everyday life in New York City. So make sure you tune in. A lot of people really like the vlogs this year, and that's super dope. And I'm glad for all of y'all for definitely tuning in. There's one more episode that will be me in São Paulo. So please like, subscribe, and share. And thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Favela Reality. Deuces.
Estamos à vontade, somos mais você. No fim de semana, chega sexta-feira e o baile.